Hey, it's Giguk, and you're watching Pixel Party Pals. Woo! I got it right on my first take. It is!
Right, hey guys, how we doing? Back with another video from Giguk, and today we are checking out the anime-only true Gamers Watch.
Guys, I have a confession.
Oh no, what?
There's a secret I've been keeping from you all that I'm ashamed to admit.
Oh god.
We're close enough, right? This is a safe place.
Yeah.
I feel it's time you knew the person I really was.
Oh my god.
I play League of Legends. I know, I'm sorry,
Oh,
okay?
God.
I don't want to shatter the image of this decent, respectable human being that you have of me, but I just needed to get this off my chest, okay? I have such a love-hate relationship with League, or a hate relationship with League, or just a
Yeah?
hate relationship. I just hate League. What the fuck do I still
What?
play? Because no matter how much
What?
I think I've moved on from it, there's been one single reason I keep coming back.
Yeah? It is huge. Like, I remember going to London Comic Con and seeing, like,
I barely play
tournament
League,
rounds
but
and
the
stuff.
esports scene is so good, I inevitably keep up with it, and because of this, every so often I get the urge to boot up a game myself, and
That's sick.
every
I never
time
tried it.
do,
I've got it downloaded on my
I get
Xbox.
reminded why I'd rather watch a group of 5 people hating their own life rather than experience it myself.
Wow.
So into I even attended the 2018 World Finals to cheer on my European representatives, where I witnessed
That's
a
sick.
miracle happen in front of me.
Whoa.
KDA debuted, and it made League cool.
Sick.
Get absolutely demolished. Of course,
No.
this isn't just limited to League. Evo, CSGO, Dota 2, not you, Overwatch League, go back and go in the corner.
Aw.
There are so many magical moments I've seen in
My girlfriend
esports,
loves Overwatch.
games I don't even play, and I think it's fucking great. Okay, we get it, Giguk, but what has this got to do with anime? For the longest time, I've wanted an esports anime, given that a lot of esports is already riddled with anime-esque plot lines, and there's so much promotional material that is heavily anime-inspired.
Yeah,
And
it does
given
seem
how
it.
hype we know traditional sports anime can be, translating esports into anime seems like a match made in gamer girl heaven. But competitive gaming in anime is almost non-existent. In fact, games are normally used as a set piece for a more casual affair, or it's just used as a base for another fucking isekai world.
Yeah, they do
Gamers in
that.
Anime are like pro gamers, but
Demon Lord was
without
good, I like
pro.
that.
So, what does that even make them? Gamers?
Just gamers?
Oh, ew, gross. Get that shit out of here. Oh, give me a second while I throw up my secret lab.
Eee, Jack
But a few years
Phillips.
ago, China said, it's cool, Japan. Hold my Razer Death Adder Elite Gaming Mouse.
Wow.
King's Avatar, that's as close as we've come to an esports anime so far. And yes, I know it's not technically an anime, but a Chinese animation or Donghua for all you hippies out there. But shut up and let me clickbait, alright?
Okay.
Originating from a web novel that has now been adapted
The King's
into a manga,
Avatar.
live-action series, and of course anime. Season 2 of the anime just finished airing, but with the amount of shows airing this season and the 2020 anime fan experience being not watching anime,
Yes.
it doesn't really surprise me that no one even seems to know the show fucking exists.
I didn't know.
I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay.
King's Avatar takes place in a world where people play games for money. Yeah,
Right.
Mom, it's really a thing now. I'm serious. Just do the Google thing. Glory is one of the most popular games in the world, being a super duper awesome game where everyone's friendly and no one calls their mother a whore for picking Yasuo and going 0-5 in the first 5 minutes. Our protagonist is one of the oldest and most decorated players the game has ever seen, but at the granddaddy age of 25, which I'm absolutely serious is really old for esports athletes, and doesn't need to take part in any of his team's promotional marketing, even though he's still one of the best players in the game, he doesn't provide a lot of financial benefits to his organization. So his organization literally did a pro gamer move and fired him, which, I'm gonna be honest, wasn't very poggers of them. That wasn't poggers at all, man. Like, come on, that's not an epic gamer moment, that's an epic fail moment.
You do it.
Come
Come on.
Trying to stay away from the professional league for at least a year, he gets a job at an internet cafe, and so begins his new journey, as he starts a completely new account and climbs his way up the ranks
cool.
once more, building up a new team of gamer girls and not Asuna as he plans his epic comeback on the
Asuna.
biggest stage of gaming. From the basic plot description, you may think this sounds like yet another video game anime with an OP protagonist stopping noob after noob, and, well, you're absolutely right.
Right.
I mean, the guy's name literally translates to Battle God, for fuck's sake. What do you
That's
think's gonna happen
brilliant.
when he starts a fresh account? This guy ain't no pop chump. He's a pop chap.
Oh my god.
Fuck me, that was an awful line. Why did I keep that? Basically, the show's what would happen if you had
I love it when they do
Tiger,
4-4
or
break and stuff like that,
any
like breaking
players start off
the
in lowest ranks of their
script and that.
respective game and grind their way back up. It's a fucking smurfing show. It's Road to Challenger Anime Edition, alright? But if you know me, you know I'm not a guy who settles for your bog standard power.
No, there has to be something else going on here.
What makes the show interesting for people like me is professional element of esports, which is not something we've seen in anime before. Because the biggest problem I find with a lot of video game anime is, how do you properly introduce stakes into an anime based entirely on a video game? Like, okay, you could be dunking on the biggest douchebag of all time, you could be taking part in some sick-ass online events, fuck man, you could even be fighting for nationals. But no matter if it's SAO, GGO, ELO, CSGO, or Raid Shadow Legends, it's hard to get invested in the outcome of the game because at the back of my mind I'm just thinking, yo, it's just a game, bro.
And anyone that ever uses the excuse it's just a game is a horrible human being.
Wow,
It is
yeah,
lazy.
Ninja.
It's only a game.
You're a lazy human being.
To borrow some shows like
Chill.
Log Horizon, which just has insanely interesting world building and mechanics, the
Yeah.
default answer is just to make some nice little wholesome slice of life where the whole point is just to have fun with your friends and be a casual gamer. Or alternatively, just go, well, if you die in the game, you die in real life. Or, you know, just make the game into an isekai world where if you die in the world, you die in the game, so you die in real life. But the beauty of this taking place in the world of esports is that these are actual stakes we see in the real world.
my God.
This isn't just a high school team where you and your mates...
This is interesting. This is interesting.
It's the real professional esports scene. Not only is your pride on the line, but so are player contracts and winnings worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars.
Damn,
and it
right.
does a good job showing that a pro isn't just about being good at the game. Some of the more interesting subplots outside of the game itself, just seeing the politics behind the esports scene.
That's cool.
Because there's more to creating a professional team than just getting good players. You need to think about marketing and hype, public perception and reputation. Signing big names isn't just about getting high-skilled players. Big names bring with them big followings. And aside from winning, there are more ways
Like fan
to grow
bases
it
and that,
than
yeah, 'cause then it
fan
builds up
base.
the money,
At
they
the
buy
end
the
of
merchandise
day,
and stuff,
it doesn't
yeah.
stop reminding us that esports, the teams and the brands are, well, a business. What I'm saying is, it's nice that we found an in-between from cute anime girls do gamer girl things. And Joe, hold up, I gotta land this sick combo or I die in the game where I die in real life. The show obviously has a good understanding of the competitive gaming scene, especially when compared to other anime. Like, remember when Kirito was a god at SAO simply because he was a beta player?
Yes.
Well, there's a bit more that goes into that here. Of course, there's a highlight on APM and raw game mechanics, but what I especially like is the emphasis on game knowledge. Anyone who's gotten into competitive video games knows that at the highest level, there are plenty of mechanically skilled players, and what really separates the good from the absolute best are people's depth of game knowledge, which is shown as an equally important reason of why the protagonist is so OP, because he's amassed so much knowledge from playing the same game for 10 years.
Damn,
But
yeah,
turns
he's gonna
out
know
that King's
stuff.
Avatar backs it up with pretty decent production values. For the longest time, it felt like any animated show that came out of China was a few years from what we'd see here in Japan. But King's Avatar was one of the first shows that proved the potential of Chinese animation. It isn't
That does look good, like, yeah.
but in my opinion, it matches up to some of the better anime out there. The series sports some pretty impressive in-game fight scenes at times. It's just too bad that there's only so much you can do to make mouse clicking and keyboard tapping fun.
Yeah.
Like, there would be times where this epic anime battle would be happening on screen, and then they would cut to the real-life characters. It kind of felt like...
Yeah.
I'd actually say the biggest disappointment I've had with the series thus far is the actual esport.
That's close.
This esport anime.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
Since Glory is based on an MMO and not a MOBA like League or a fighting game or an FPS, we follow our main team as they grind their characters to max level, and honestly, it sometimes felt just like that. A grind. Because that's what mostly happens in Season 1. Look, I know we have to build up the team and their characters before we enter the League and everything, but I'm gonna be real here. I don't care how many noobs you stop, I don't care how many records you set on your new server, I just want to hear an overly excited Korean man shouting, In Season 2, we've at least reached the professional level where all the pro players are interacting with each other, but the teams haven't even fully assembled yet or reached max level. So while it is nice to see the esports element being put into a game series for once, it hasn't yet felt like an esports anime.
Right.
I remember watching Season 1 a few years ago and saying this wasn't an esports anime, this was an anime with esports
In it, right.
At least that's what I would be saying if we didn't have the OVA series. For me, by far the biggest highlight so far is a 3-episode OVA that takes place between Season 1 and 2. And as an esports fan watching it, it was everything I wanted.
Yeah.
The arc details an all-star type exhibition event between some of the top players in the league, and it pretty much encapsulates the hype and appeal of a big esporting event. Even though it was just an exhibition, it was cathartic to see all the pros and the teams that were built up playing on a stage far bigger than any of your typical sports anime, even if it was just technically for pride. It was surprising how well it captured the energy of a big event like this, with pretty insane animation for some of the fights.
Does look
signing
good,
off with
like,
a
yeah.
narrative climax that made me stamp down and say, yes, this is exactly why I wanted an esports anime. The only
Sweet.
problem is, it just made me impatient for the story to get to a point where we get to see teams actually competing again on a stage like this in actual high-stakes matches. Because if this is just a taste of how good things could be, it has the potential to stand up to the hype of some of our favourite sports anime. But as it stands, we are still grinding to get to that point. Look, I'm going to be completely honest.
Okay.
For most people, this is just going to be another slightly above average power fantasy anime with no difference from most isekai or magic harem high schools. But if you are someone like me who loves keeping up with esports and has been looking for that non-existent anime to scratch that itch,
This is
then I
it.
highly recommend you give King's Avatar a chance.
Fair enough.
For me, it's not always about finding the best shows, because part of the reason I got into anime was so I could find niche stories and settings that I couldn't find anywhere else. And in this case,
Yeah, you do get a lot of
Japan
stuff in
wasn't
anime that you just
then I'm
don't get
more than
told
happy to
anywhere
look
else, like in
outside.
any other
The
like
esports scene
medium.
in Japan is still very small. Competitive gaming takes a backseat to how big the mobile gaming industry is here. Unless you're a self-proclaimed diamond-ranked gacha game player like me, also known as I have a big fucking problem. It's unlikely we would have gotten an esports anime, so it's times like these I'm glad that not only has anime gotten more international, but so has its influence. Barring the biggest surprise that an esports manhwa hasn't come out of Korea yet, the scene in China is still massive, with the infrastructure now mirroring more traditional sports, with league teams having their own dedicated stadiums in their home cities, which is crazy to think about. So
Mental.
it's no wonder an animated series like this had the chance to be produced there. Currently, season 1 and 2 of King's Avatar is available right here on YouTube officially.
Oh.
So unfortunately, you're gonna have to look elsewhere for the OVA series, though. So,
Right.
in YouTube,
Interesting. Huh.
stop playing League of Legends.
That was cool. That's interesting. That was a really, really interesting concept. Like, at first I was like, where is he going with this? why? Like he said, why are you talking about League of Legends? But yeah, that was interesting. It does sound interesting. I want to check that out. Like, someone's really good at esports and then they get dropped and then it's like, oh, let's start back up again, build up the team and get noticed and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that sounds really cool. I might have to, especially if just on YouTube as well, I might as well just, I think I might check out a couple of episodes of that. But thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. I'll see you guys, yes, all you guys, next time.